Good day, folks. Today we are at Bancroft at a friend's cottage. He's started to build that, and I'm actually walking up his driveway over here. And over here, you get to see Imran working on the sides. There we have Imran. He's actually shoveling out. So, Imran, can we have a minute with you?
Yes.
Yeah, he's actually digging his septic tank right now. We'll have him talk a little bit to us. Good day, folks. Thank you so much for joining us today. So we have with us Imran. He's panting a little bit from all the work that he's been doing. A very interesting journey. More about that. But in the background, you see a little bit of folks working over there, and this is what he has built by himself. So he'll talk about that as well. Thank you, Imran, for joining us. So can you get started by telling us a little bit about yourself first?
Yeah, my name is Imran Malik. I'm a mechanical engineer. I came in 2003 to Canada. It's a big decision. In fact, it's a little different decision because I never came for Canada. In fact, it was just a professor who taught me course and asked me to come to McGill University. So in fact, I came to McGill University, and then I learned that you can become a citizen over here and start working. So I came as a student. It's a little bit more different than families coming over here. I struggled a little bit. In 17 years, I have a long story to share. But in a nutshell, it was an exciting journey. I would suggest people to come here, do some struggle.
Yeah.
And from there on, let's just sit beside the fireplace.
Yeah.
So I'm building a cabin now. It's a very fulfilling job. It's a very fulfilling job, and yeah, lots of struggle.
Yeah, but
Any questions?
No, for sure. But let's get started. So you told us a little bit about yourself as to how you came to Canada and then you got started. How did you get into building this cabin? And I know you have a little philosophy around it as well. So nice to share that.
Yeah, there are 2 or 3 different viewpoints. I would like to present both as motivation for people and internal motivation from myself as well. Internal motivation was that I've traveled in Canada for more than 600,000 kilometers on road.
Wow.
And I see that Canada is huge. It's you can fit in about two to three Pakistan in just one province of Ontario. People here, when you see adaptation and learning and everything, one mistake we do as immigrants is that we narrow our learning and adaptation and education and see that we can have financial freedom from that and satisfaction, which you later on call as success. But it's more of cultural adaptation, and cultural adaptation cannot happen until and unless you move around on countryside and get to know how people came over here 200 to 300 years ago, how the lands has been patented. So this was one motivation, that I've traveled a lot and I realized that Canada is about land. So I bought this 18.5 acres 6 years ago, and I started building just a room. One of my fellows, my friends who at work was civil engineer, I visited cottage here in Halliburton and realized that it's not a big deal. I started off placing piers, some pressure treated beams, then put a small room on top of it. It was left for a couple of years. Then this year I thought I should put some roof on top of it, and I put the roof on top of it. Second reason of doing this is psychological. We immigrants feel a bit of isolation, especially in times of winters. It's very harsh winters. You do not know the games of winters. You do not know the culture of winters, and you feel like stuck in the home. You can't do skiing. Your feet and your shims are not well adjusted to skiing and rotating here and there. So this is an outlet to come over here in winters and enjoy the weather as well, do some barbecue, and I plan on hunting as well. I would like to see wildlife.
You're showing some, you had some moose on the property
yes,
as well, right?
Yes, you see moose and deer. I have lived in Montreal, Toronto, Calgary, Brandon, I have met so many Canadians, more than Pakistanis. So the reason why I'm saying that it's exciting is that it will be hard in the beginning. You will be vulnerable. Because of that vulnerability, you'll move around. Because of that moving around, you'll see a lot of places. You will start learning Canada and about Canadians as well. So everything is coming all together right now after 17 years, and this is getting built. I'm digging out the hole for putting the septic tank. If you want to build that hole, give it to contractor, it's $4,000. But if you want to, I did it myself, it's less than $500. So it's not only learning curve, it's when you slow down, nature actually challenge you to the resolution that you have a learning curve nobody else has. And you start doing almost everything by yourself, and the area, the weather starts getting inside your skin, and then you become Canadian. The paper does not make you Canadian.
That's a
The
good way,
adaptation makes you Canadian. Or anywhere. Our responsibility as human is first to respect the body we have been given, the soul we have been given, and then connect to the land and the people of the land.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that is the cultural adaptation against the educational adaptation, against which we see that there will be financial reward, and to financial reward there is freedom attached. No. That financial reward actually is necessary and sufficient for certainty part. But we as human require uncertainty to surprise ourselves, to keep on feeling life. And that surprises are punctuated by challenges of nature. Even in Pakistan, if you have spent entire of your life in cities, you will see at certain point in time, your job is not gonna help you move forward, because that moving forward is not financial moving forward. I'm going too much deep. So Saad, you have any other question?
No,
rather than-
it's very interesting, and we've had these conversations. So, of course, this warrants multiple conversations with you.
If
But
you see, I have ATV over here.
yeah,
This ATV, people might think
yeah,
that it's a recreational vehicle. Imran might be moving around, just speeding up and all that. No. Come over here. Go this way.
yeah,
You see this beam up there?
yeah,
It's 2x8 by 20-foot long beam,
yeah,
and there are 6x6, 8 poles on the sides.
yeah.
This whole beam and the pole has been assembled on the ground,
Wow.
and that has been lifted. This particular beam has been lifted with a couple of my Italian biker friends who came over here.
Yeah,
Just I met them on Starbucks,
Yeah.
and that is again climatization and feeling what people are about. And they helped me in erecting this beam. But where does the ATV come? ATV comes with the beam at the back. I was alone. I couldn't pick it up. So I tied the rope over there, throw the rope on top of the building, and from here I pulled through ATV that beam, erected it, and then tied it down. So ATV is typically used for pulling out large trees which have fallen,
yeah,
or doing this type of winching.
yeah,
So the machines you see, the big trucks you see, you might get overwhelmed like with the variety of machines over here,
Yeah.
but they have a particular use in land development.
yeah.
So
Anyway,
these are please go
Interesting.
ahead, please
No,
go
interesting.
ahead.
And thank you so much, Imran, for your time today. And I think we've given a little bit of an overview as to, and it's a very interesting journey that you have. And I would recommend everybody to come out and explore this great place that you have here. So thank you so much, Imran. And hopefully, folks, if they have any questions, they'll reach out to you.
Absolutely, you are more than welcome.
Thank you.